Okay, something very special for you. Now, I'm going to get off the stage and make way for two really great people because Bernie Howard, who is a really terrific music journalist, is going to jump up on stage to have a quick chat to an absolute legend of the Australian songwriting and music fraternity. And that is Allan Caswell, who's, he's written so many amazing things, including the theme from Prisoner, On the Inside. Please welcome them to the stage, Bernie Howard and Allan Caswell.
Okay, I'll just start running through a little bit of why we're here and what we're celebrating. Australia's most recorded songwriter. Now that's someone to listen to when we're sitting into a hall of songwriters out there. 975 songs and still going strong.
Yeah, they're the ones that got recorded.
Yes, there's the other 4,680 that we don't talk about. 8 golden guitars with 40 years between his first and his most recent. 16 Tamworth Songwriters Association awards. 20 albums. Just this week, the Country Music Association Songwriter of the Year had his songs recorded by artists as diverse as Cilla Black and The Living End, if you want to sort of look at different ends of the scale. Written one of the most definitive songs of Australian music with On the Inside, which we all know as the theme from Prisoner that went global. 2018, inducted into the Galaxy of Stars. 2024, the Australian Country Roll of Renown. And there's one more accolade I think is really important to acknowledge. It doesn't get the publicity it should. And I dedicate this accolade for Allan to our dedicated ASA leader, the mighty Magpie, and as of this year, the holder of a Medal of the Order of Australia for everything he does, Denny Burgess. I think that is something that needs to be acknowledged very loudly and proudly because we are all proud of Denny. And Denny, this is for you. Allan Caswell, you are looking at the man who, with a guitar, helped save, when they were needed in their hour of need, the mighty Rabbitohs. The reason we got another premiership in 2014 and it's still going strong, Allan Caswell.
That was actually the most fun I ever had. So, George Piggins never let me forget that I used to be a St George supporter, but I got better. So it's
hallelujah, he saw the light.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, Allan arrived here, I was going to say as a £10 pom, but
no, I got in free because I was under 14 at the time.
Yeah, so he got here for nothing.
Yeah.
And we're lucky he did, because he got here in 1966, walked through the gates of South Sydney High School. How was that?
Well, we didn't actually get through the gates before we got pushed around and beaten up, but it was South Sydney Boys High School, you'd expect that.
They were tough men. And then by 2016, you're producing a wonderful album called 50 Years in Oz, which captures a quintessential Australia that you understand, have lived in, and becomes part of you.
Yeah, I kind of feel like if you took all the Pommies and Kiwis and Dutch people out of the Australian music industry, there wouldn't be much left.
It's a fair call. It's a very fair call. So what did you and your family hope for when you got on that boat?
Well, it certainly wasn't a golden guitar. We didn't know what they were, but it was just a chance to sort of to have a future. You know, I mean, my dad was a stand-up comedian. I was part of a show business family. I never had anyone tell me I'm not allowed to do it, which is why I haven't had a real job since 1979. You know, so.
But you sang about the fact that you couldn't really find anything. You didn't find a place to fit after you left school until you started songwriting with your brother?
Yeah, pretty much. Look, you know, this is my favourite thing. There's a room full of songwriters here, and this is, you know, it's nice to be part of this. You know, all I've ever really wanted to do was to be a songwriter. You know, right back to where I've been. What am I? 72 now. I would have been writing songs for 60 years. And I still love it, and I still enjoy it, and I still do it 4 or 5 times a week, and I'm going to keep doing it. And now I get to work with young artists who I can save them 30 years because I can teach them things in 5 minutes that took me 30 years to learn. But I can also teach them things in 5 minutes that I learnt from other people that have done 30 years, and that's really what it's about.
And that was a struggle at the first, and then 1979, everything changes for you.
Yeah, it was like anything that ever happens in the music business, it was a total fluke. Chris Gilby, who was my producer for like 18 and a half years, he arrived in Australia on a Tuesday, signed me to a publishing deal on the Wednesday, and then Thursday he was having lunch with the people from Grundy's who made the show. And he said, "You're looking for any music?" And I said, "No, we've got this thing called Prisoner, but we're going to use Unchained Melody." And Chris, being a good publisher, said, "I hope you've got a big wallet." And they said, "Why? Is it going to be expensive?" "It'll cost you a fortune. You'd be better off getting your own song written." And they said, "Well, who have you got in mind?" He said, "I signed this guy yesterday. He's going to be great, you know." So, and it was just like that. It just happened. And then Lynn Hamilton had the hit with it. She was a single mum. It was getting near Christmas, and her son desperately wanted this bike. It was going to cost $200 or $300. And she didn't have the money, and then ASA, who she was signed to, rang her up and said, "If you sing the demo for this TV show, we'll give you $300. So the only reason she sang the song was so that she could buy a bike for her son.
That's the happiest of it.
Yeah, and that's how it works, right? You just keep slugging away until you get that one break, and then mind you, you don't always get the break. But I mean, I got really lucky. As I say, I haven't worked since.
And now you've reached the stage where you're on your really long goodbye tour.
You know, that starts on Australia Day. On Australia Day in Tamworth, we start my really long goodbye tour.
And one of the things that has been a characteristic, you've always been happy to encourage songwriters, guide songwriters. You've written books about songwriting. So with a room full of eager songwriters here to listen, what would you suggest they do? What's the guide in a very quick moment?
It's a simple thing. I mean, because there's a lot of people here I've written with it, aren't there? Yeah. Look, I run these workshops, and all I'm trying to get people to do at the end of it is love it and enjoy it. Because if you love it and you enjoy it, you're going to keep doing it. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. It's like every song is a bucket full of balls, and you go down the practice fairway and hit these things. And after a while, the muscle memory kicks in, and you become a songwriter.
So there it is.
It's easy, but it helps if you've got talent. You know.
And as we will hear tonight, there is an ample amount of talent in this room. So I think now we need to hear this man in action. So, you know, we have to thank him for this font of knowledge that we've got here. He's really the most marvellous man, the most amazing songwriter, and the most recorder we have in this country. So let's give him a chance now to hear from Allan Caswell. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, it's there. Thank you. I'd like to play this one. It's a song I wrote with my wife, Marion, and Marion doesn't think she's a songwriter, but she is. We've written a bunch of songs together, but one day she came in and she said, got this idea for a song. I said, what? She said, I want to write a song that's like the letter that the lawyer reads to the kids before he reads the will. And this is how it turned out. I'm writing you this letter full of stuff I should have said. By the time you get to read it, I'll be gone, defunct and dead. I really love to tell you that I'm sorry for your loss, but as I'm the one you're missing, probably wouldn't mean a lot. I guess that this is my last chance to get things off my chest. My parents' skills were DIY, but I always did my best. You kids have all turned out okay, and I think you should be proud. There's things that I forgot to say, so I want to say them now. There's things I should have told you, like be your own best friend. Try to make how much you earn a little more than what you spend. Not succeeding isn't failure, you just find a better way. There's things I should have told you, so I'm telling you today. Don't be scared to say you're sorry. No one's always right. And if you're wrong, don't drag it on, just apologize. Always love your family, even when they're hard to love. And if they really piss you off, a Christmas card's enough. There's things I should have told you, like be your own best friend. Try to make how much you earn a little more than what you spend. Not succeeding isn't failure, you just find a better way. There's things I should have told you, so I'm telling you today. Don't put parents into nursing homes, it never turns out good. And I've come back to haunt you all like I promised that I would. Treat my dog with love and care like he's your next of kin. Chihuahuas live to 25, so I've left the house to him. Thank you. Thanks very much. And I had 15 requests all from the same person to do this song, so I'm going to finish with this one. And then I'm going to go back to drinking and hanging out and pretend to be a songwriter like everybody else is. Yeah, I wrote this song back in 1979 and I haven't had a real job since. I'm very proud of this thing. I used to give her roses, I wish I could again. Thank you. But that was on the outside. And things were different then. We built our world together with a love so clear and strong. But that was on the outside. Where did I go wrong? On the inside the sun still shines and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too. The morning comes around. Last night a dream we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the sun still shines and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too. The morning comes around. On the inside the roses grow. They don't mind the stormy ground. But the roses here are prisoners too. The morning comes around. I used to give her roses, I wish I could again. That was on the outside, and things were different then. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Wow, that was amazing. Allan Caswell, ladies and gentlemen.